about to tell you sounds crazy. But you have to listen to me. Your very lives depend on it.
This is not the end.
You see, this isn't the first time. Now, we've had this conversation. What day is it?
Judgment Day. You just came in with the fresh recruits.
This is not the end.
The invasion will fail, along with every soldier you are sending. We lose
This is not
everything.
the end.
Come find me when you wake up!
You do know what's happening to me.
What happened to you happened to me. You hijacked their power. I need your help.
With what exactly?
Winning the war. We can do this. Just come here every day and I'll train you.
This is not the end.
No matter what I do, this is as far as you go.
This is
Why does it matter what happens to me?
I'm not a soldier.
Of course you're not. You're a weapon.
Whew, this trailer is a mess, but I still want to see the movie because I'm a comic book fan and I'm interested in kind of the world they're building here. They kind of sold me with the opening shot when they're kind of going to deploy all those soldiers in like meta suits, like they would deploy a bomb. And you know, the way the soldiers kind of shook when the magazines came around. That was pretty cool. That was enough to for me to be like, I'm coming, even though I have very little faith in the story structure of this movie. So I said this was a mess. Where is this a mess? Well, first of all, I have a hard time believing that Tom Cruise, at 51 years old, would be recruited or drafted into an army. Now, maybe in the future, things are really bad. Like, for instance, in The Book Thief, towards the end, the Nazis were just drafting anybody they could get their hands on, from, you know, like including like senior citizens, like Jeffrey Rush's character. And if that's the situation this movie's trying to show, that in the future things are so bad that they're drafting anybody, even people who are totally inappropriate to stick into battle and to wear a tech suit, because I guess it doesn't matter who wears the tech suit, then hire Jeffrey Rush. That would make me so much more interested in this movie. A future where Jeffrey Rush is drafted into battle and they stick this suit on him. And then maybe there'd be some suspense as to whether or not Emily Blunt could train him to be the weapon he needs to be. Because right now, I'm pretty sure she's going to succeed in training Tom Cruise. And the best thing he's going to be able to do is run. It's crazy. And you know, yes, Tom Cruise looks great for his age. I think there's no doubt about that. But I think where he always shoots himself in the foot is when he casts himself way too young. If he was playing age-appropriate roles or age-range-appropriate roles, the audiences would sit there and go, wow, Tom looks so good. I wonder what his secret is. But instead, everyone goes, Tom, you look great, but you're not 25. We can clearly tell that. So I think that's a big mistake for this movie right there. Tom Cruise just isn't correct for this role, at least from how the trailer is showing it. Then the other thing, as for Emily Blunt, some of you wrote me in, and I remember one comment in particular said that she looked anorexic. Yeah, she's clearly trained and buffed up for this role. I think she looks good, actually. I think she's actually really well cast. I think it's great to see an actress, more of a Sandra Bullock, Julia Roberts type person in a role like this, instead of say a Gal Gadot type character, the one from Fast and Furious who just became Wonder Woman. I think this is interesting casting to me. I think this is casting that is female audience friendly. However, the only problem is that as great as I think Emily Blunt seems to be doing in the role, and as great as Hollywood might feel she does, audiences on the whole have rejected Emily Blunt at this point. She's not fresh out of the gate. She's not fresh off of The Devil Wears Prada. She's had a lot of chances, 5-year engagement, The Adjustment Bureau. She's tried different genres. Nothing's clicking for her. So I think that casting her at this point is a liability for a movie, no matter how good she might be in the film. And then also there's the other problem, and this is apparently a Groundhog Day scenario. It's only hinted at in the trailer. I think the trailer doesn't do a good enough job of setting this up. I think the trailer doesn't do a good enough job of really setting anything up, except that there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the movie, and it's going to have some interesting world building, which I hope they do a better job of explaining. Because this is a future where 50-year-old men and women are put in the front lines of battle. That in and of itself is fascinating. So I think the trailer should have set up what kind of world that is. That should have been the opening of this trailer. But as far as the Groundhog Day situation goes, we didn't see any scenes in the trailer more than once. They didn't show us that repetitiveness, which I think is odd if that's the whole hook of the movie. Also, that's not something new. Not only is there Groundhog Day, which is such a famous movie, it is now the term used for this kind of story, but also there was recently Source Code, which was, while I guessed all the twists, like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, was still a very good movie. And if you telegraph your twists and still entertaining, well then, that's why I'm a Duncan Jones fan. That and Moon, which I always talk about. But this isn't Duncan Jones directing here, it's Doug Liman, and he's a very good director. The first Bourne Identity, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Swingers. He has a very good track record, so that's another reason I trust his ability to at least deliver an entertaining movie. But also the other thing about Groundhog scenarios is that they're very frustrating for an audience to watch. So it's really falls on the film to keep these scenarios interesting, even though they're taking us back into them again and again and again. And so I think this movie needs to make it clear that's what it's doing and to show how it's going to keep things interesting. So as I said, this is just a mess of a trailer. It doesn't do anything that the trailer needs to do. But as a comic book fan, I'm still going to go. However, I do have serious doubts whether or not this kind of a trailer is going to entice non-comic book, non-genre fans to go to see a film like this. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Comic book fans, are you in? Non-comic book readers, could you not care less? Write your thoughts down below. What do you think of Tom Cruise in this kind of role? What do you think of Emily Blunt and her role? And do you trust Doug Liman as much as I do? Thanks everybody for asking for this trailer review. I'm sorry it's a day late, but every year I take a day off, or half a day off, to go and visit Santa at Macy's and look at the windows, and yesterday was that day. So, but I'll be at my desk the rest of the holiday season, except obviously Christmas and Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day, but otherwise, the new content will be coming out, and thank you for your patience. All right, bye.